Hello, what's up, Tarek? How's it going, Chopra?
Hey, what's up with you, man?
Not
The kids,
much.
Eric. That's what I want to say. Start off with a compliment. That kid looks good on you, man.
It does. It does.
So, I have never, like, I know you guys have, or at least you do, Charlie. I know you got kits with player numbers and names on them. I've never bought one. Um, and the only one that I have that has a name and a number on it is that signed Beasley jersey. And that's, whatever. Everything else is just plain, whatever. And it hit me earlier in, I don't know, a month ago. This is probably, I figured this was going to be it for KDB. So I was like, I'm going to buy a K because I don't have anything that says company. I don't have anything that says Aguero. So I was like, I don't want to not have something that has KDB when this is all said and done. But I've been holding it because I didn't want to wear it. So when they announced it, I was like, okay, I got to break it out.
That's fire. That's fire. I love that. Love that. I ordered mine yesterday. So, yeah. So let me get this in
I
half
was like,
off
I have to have
Man City
something.
store.
Yeah, I was, it's like too many of our legends have gone and I don't have anything to show for it. So,
yeah, it's I have a old KDB kit, so I wore that. Basically, I wore my Udi until it was like 12:30. I was like, okay, I got to get out of this, or else I'm gonna legit fall into a depressive state. So I switched out of that and put on my KDB shirt.
Well, I did think about changing out of this just because the way the game was going. I was like, this is trash. I feel like I wasted this.
What's up, George?
What's up with you,
Thank you
George?
for coming, George. First ever comment on the vibe check.
Here, I'll put the link to the stream for anybody who wants to join. Anyone who wants to.
Man. So we start off with our thoughts. Like, Tarek, how did you feel, man? Because that was something.
Well, let's be honest. Right from the moment that I saw the lineup,
yeah,
I immediately So coming into this match, right? I thought that if we go with our normal, well, I would say normal, but if we got Marmoush up top, Sabio, Doku, even if you want to do KDB, because again, I recognize that, then I think that four, with some help behind, from Nico Gonzalez, I thought we had enough. I really thought we could beat them 3-1. I thought we could basically run them off the pitch. And then when you see the lineup, it's okay. Well, that's obviously not going to happen. Now we're playing for 1-0, right? We're just playing to hopefully nick a goal. And it was such a change of mentality and, calling this the vibe check. It was a change in the vibe of my opinion on the match right from off. And it's like, well, I don't know what to expect at this point because I don't know that we're really going for it. We're just happy to get out of it with a 1-0 and so it was disappointing, man. And then then the game starts, it kicks off, and it was what I thought it was going to be. It was poor, it was slow, it was all of those things, and we never really changed it up. I just felt like, again, love Pep, but this is on him. What about you, Charlie?
Man, I almost could copy and paste everything you said. So I'll say this differently. The lineup at least inspired the hope that after 60, there's going to be a shift, right? We have such a healthy bench, so much, youth and athleticism on the bench. United does not have a lot of options. We can go at them in the last 30, 20 minutes, whatever. And then when that first sub came, we knew Foden had a little injury early. Okay, I get it. You bring in Doku, I'm excited. But once that second thing hit and it was Grealish and Rico, I was like, oh yeah, we're done. We're done. That was a signal. Like Rico was almost like the human white flag. It's like, we're not going to go for this. We're not going to bring in Savinho. We're not going to bring in McAtee, people that play more forward. We're going to bring in Rico at left back and just try to hold it for it. And you talked about how you felt in this match. I started talking about at the end of the stream, I don't feel good about the rest of the season now. Like, I'm looking at our schedule. We need it.
He's got to play the players. We have the capability. If Pep is going to play like this, then I agree with you 100%. I don't know what to expect. I don't feel strongly about it. But if he lets us play, again, I just feel he's too tied to the past. And the past was great. It has gotten us to this point, and I can't knock it 4 straight. It's been wonderful. But it's got to change. It's got to change.
It's
Like you said, that introduction of Rico, it did feel like, okay, he's not going for it. I was happy when I saw Doku come in because I was like, okay, if this is the lineup you're going to run out, then you got to make substitutions early. 60th minute, I need to see Doku coming in. I need to see Savio coming in. So when to see Doku, I was like, okay, great.
Yep.
Maybe he's going to do that. He's going to be more aggressive in his substitutions, and we're going to push for it. Because, again, you can make the argument that, okay, we're going to just wear them down in the first half, and then we're going to blitz them at the end of the second half, and we're going to throw in Doku, Savio. We're going to play much more direct. We're going to play much more up-tempo. Okay, if that's your approach, let's see it. So Doku coming in was great, but then nothing else followed, and that was disappointing. My bad, Crunk. Go ahead.
Oh no, you're good. I was gonna pull up the player ratings actually, because seeing the lineup, I agreed. I was very upset about seeing the elders on the just starting, but I wanted to try to beat. It was like this back and forth that I had. I was upset seeing them, but then the last time we saw them, they were decent. But also then I remember every single time I feel like they have one good match, they go back to just being mid. We really can't string together a good run of form with all of our older players. We looked really good against Leicester, and that's because he had the Spice Brothers on the wings. He embraced the fun. He embraced to like acknowledging, hey, yeah, we're gonna have some moments where Leicester are going to have their chances and be able to run it up against us, but I back my guys. And it is obvious that we're going to have to take these players away from Pep, or else he's going to play them. Meant to play this. Shout out to you, Luke. Thank you for we hit over 500 subs. That was very exciting. So if you're on and you're watching, please like the video. If you haven't subscribed to us, check us out. We have tons of content that covers City, women's football, and if you like some wrestling, WWE, AEW, and all those things. Let's see this. What I will say is in the first half, United had more players in green. I mean, now it's technically tied. Onana was the player of the match for United. I wouldn't say if it wasn't for him, we would have scored more goals because I don't think he was tested that much, but he does his thing. He's a baller. I will give it to him. And it's tough. Foden, I agree with you, George, that Foden was very disappointing. But it's one of those things. It just feels like it's all like dogpiling on the squad now because they are who we know they are. They are who we think they are. Like, what is there new or exciting, or what is there to kind of add to the conversation other than they've just lacked consistency?
I mean, for me, I'm looking at these ratings, and I'm not mad at the Unks. Like, they did their job, right? Like Tarek called it out. It's just Pep. Like, Pep chose a route where he wasn't going to be aggressive. We played not to lose instead of to win, especially in the last 20 minutes. And when you make that choice, it is tactical, right? It's a prudent decision, even if it's not easy to swallow. It makes sense, right? Leave here with something on the road against a Dart. We lost to them in the first match. Don't want to lose back-to-back derbies. I get it. And like they could have been got. Like, you can't tell me that if you would have played Savinho and Daku for the last 30 minutes, we wouldn't have had some better chances created. You can't tell me if McAtee sees the pitch instead of a tired Kevin De Bruyne that he might make something happen, right? Like, playing people 90 minutes makes no sense. Playing Bernardo Silva 90 when he literally in the 85th minute was dead in his legs.
Yeah.
when you got McAtee on the bench and Nico on the bench. Like, you had choices that you didn't make, and that's the most frustrating part. Like, I didn't think Nico O'Reilly needed to come off. Like, you did nothing by making that sub. Like, Rico didn't add anything to the game. If
At
anything,
all.
he just becomes a liability, right? So it's a tough pill to swallow just because, like, they could have been got. Like, United is not a good team at all, and that's hard. Mm.
Derek, you got anything that you can add, or maybe it's that you see the positives or the hopeful of Phil Foden?
No, Foden is my dude. Foden is my guy, and I love him, but he wasn't good. And again, I think it's okay to say that he wasn't good, but again, the approach, it's kind of hard to be, if we're gonna play so, I want to use the word scared, but the better word, I guess, is cautious. And we're afraid to make a mistake. We're afraid to give the ball away. So it's like all out control at the expense of anything, any dynamicism, or however that word should be used. But we're giving all that up in the hopes of just keeping it tight. And what do you expect him to do? But again, was he good? No. But as a team, we weren't great.
Yeah.
You know, there's something. I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, you go for it. Go for it.
I was gonna say, like, with Foden, I genuinely feel like he needs Kevin to leave to get back to his regular form. Like, we saw last year, there are other things going on we know this season, but last year when Kev was out, Phil was the one who he took over for the team. It was his team. He was player of the year. He came through in all the big moments because the middle of the pitch was his. Like, he needs that space. He has to be able to go, left and right in the channels. Like, that's where he operates. If Kevin's in the way, that is a problem. Like, he needs wingers beside him, and he needs to be there, like, being able to pick up those spaces that Kevin is occupying. So it's almost like we got to almost not suffer. We have to endure the rest of this season, I think, to see the best of Phil come out next season. Like, he needs that space, or he needs a running mate who can run with him, in addition to, like, the surrounding things, like the wingers, the four, like, everything needs to be in place for Phil to succeed. And right now, I don't think everything's in place for that. When you play Bernardo beside him, no, it's just not gonna happen. Like, Bernardo gives me nothing. That's been your thing for years, man. Like, and I love it. It's right. It's 100% accurate.
Yeah, it's and it really, it's because I know Bernardo can do more instead of just having to be that guy who holds onto the ball, retains with, keeps possession. He's just an extra midfielder. Shout out to Joe Bray. Our episode with him just dropped on Patreon. So if you're subscribed to our $6 tier, we actually have a half off deal right now for our Patreon. So instead of paying $6, you just pay the $3 for this month.
$3.
Joe Bray said, rubbish game. Grealish first to the fans for a quick clap and then went straight down the tunnel. Rest of the team followed a little later, giving De Bruyne a chance to wave to the fans and take applause. Guardiola gave Doku a long chat on the pitch. And this is it. Doku, I mean, I just, again, what can Doku, because it's the same thing with Marmoush. Whenever he would kind of get fed the ball, and all of a sudden it's just him versus 7 people in red shirts. What can he do? Like, even if Doku does manage to take on a defender, beat him, like, who is he going to cross it into? It's just going to be Marmoush. And, like, it'll be Marmoush versus a bunch of other people. It is tough. I don't really know what more you can ask out of him. I want to pull up this from MacMan. The whole game was a shit show, and Pep better come out and say Nico was carrying a knock. And that was something I asked as well. I thought Nico was going to be brought on sometime later to help, because he makes those passes. He tries to take chances. I like what he tries to do. It's good, but he can dawdle on the ball. He can get kind of caught in between multiple thoughts. But then again, that's all Rico Lewis did when he was brought on. He got caught on the ball so many times, and it was very frustrating.
It's I don't know. It's hard. Like having this show, having this space right after the match, right? Usually we like decompress and you think about it, you read some things, you see some stuff. But coming right in, I'm just like, everything was left on the table. Like you just left your food out there and we didn't eat. And it wasn't like we couldn't. It would be different if we had injuries, right? If this was the middle of our injury run and you know, we were like really going through it, I would get it, right? Like, hey, you're just trying to suffer through and take a point. But no, we had a stacked bench, bro. A stacked bench. And that's the thing that is so hard to swallow, that pill that's so hard to swallow. Like we had guys. Like you said, Nico, Savinho, was something wrong with them? Like, did they forget how to play football? Because I don't understand why they didn't see the pitch. Like, but Rico did. Come on,
Rico did. Yeah, and I don't.
He didn't use all 5 subs, right? Didn't he just bring on 3?
He brought on 3. Yep, Doku, Rico, and Grealish.
Yeah. So you literally had 2 more subs in a window. You didn't use it for what? Like, what are we doing here?
And even if you, like, I think bringing on Hayes for the final bit and being able to push Vardiol back wide, he would have done a better job. He loves getting up. He's the one who can put himself in a chance to kind of score. Again, like McAtee, it is now to the point where like McAtee he obviously is not impressing during these practices. I don't know what whatever he's not doing, because we shouldn't be in the situation where he can't get any playing time at all. It's worrying, honestly. Like, he's gone. Like, give us $40 million and shout out to McAtee. Thank you for everything that you've done for our U teams.
I hear you
academy.
about McAtee not getting on, and what does that say about him? But what does it say about Savio? He didn't get on. What does it say about, whatever, all those other people that are on the team that Hayes was never going to play? He's not been trusted in the Premier League, so he was never getting on. But I just think it's less about McAtee and more about Pep. And that's just the reality. And I think it has to be okay to call out on that. And again, no one, well, there are some. I am not. I'm fairly certain you all are not saying that we should be Pep out.
Of course not.
But Pep, if we give a rating to these players, and somebody's gotten a 5 or a 6 or a 7 or whatever it is, Pep, his rating was below average, and it was just from the very beginning. He started off a particular way, and he stuck to it. Again, the substitutions, it wasn't an attacking change to bring on Rico Lewis for Nico O'Reilly. If you would have brought in Rico on the right, and you would have had, say, Kuzanov or somebody over there, right? That would have said, you know what, he's trying to go for it. He's trying to put him a more attacking player on. Nico O'Reilly has got a bunch of goals this season, and a bunch being relative, right? Based on playing time. He was good all game. I don't think he gave the ball away a couple times, but so did everybody else, right? So I just think Pep's pragmatic nature is gotten the best of him. And, I can't say it cost us 2 points, because maybe we win it, maybe we don't. But there's 2 points out there to be gotten. I can't say it's because he didn't do this, but I can say that there were 2 points out there that were available to us, 2 more points that we could have had and probably should have had.
Okay. Well, before we get out of here, I do want to take a quick look at, because we were talking about it before the end of the watch along, the schedule, the rest of the schedule, because in theory it's teams that we should beat, but this was the Manchester Derby. I would have much rather have played this game to win and lose than play out Kevin's last derby, the last derby of this year, especially losing to Amram already twice this season. And maybe that's just it. Maybe Pep didn't want a third loss, but it's just, it's so frustrating. So and it's, let's see, 1 week off, 1 week, then the Premier League game against Villa, that's 4 days because we have the FA Cup semis, but plenty of rest, plenty of time to get people even back. Even if Akanji and Stones return, I don't know how big of a difference those players make to our defense, because our defense isn't our problem. It's our attack. It's our players trusting Marmoush. Like, if we're going to have Marmoush as the striker, someone needs to make that pass. I can't tell you how many times a player would look and see someone making the run. Even Diaz, a couple times with Nunes, would see him making that run, and then they just put their head back down and look at the ball. Like, trust your players to your teammates to make the right choice. And that's the most frustrating thing about it, that they're not trusting each other to make the right choice, and instead they're holding on to the ball, which nothing comes of it anyway.
I mean, Crunk, you brought up this run in, and honestly, could you scroll down like to the last 2 matches?
Yes.
Oh, it's on the next page. Never mind. Those last 2 are the hardest ones, I think. Like, super hard. Getting Bournemouth and Fulham to end the year, which are both of those. Like, Bournemouth has a dip in form right now. We just saw them in the FA Cup, but Fulham is flying. Like, all these clubs, other than Southampton and Leicester, I mean, who was it? Yeah, Southampton and Wolves, I think, can give us a game. Like, even Everton, right? David Moyes has them playing really well.
Mm-hmm.
Like, every team that we have coming up is going to be competitive. And I don't know, especially now with no Haaland, right? We lose that kind of big joker. You lose the guy that attracts 2 people in the middle and frees it up for everybody else. You know, if you won't play more attacking people now, the defense is like, okay, we can sit and rest. We can sit back, because what are you going to do? How are you going to do it? And are these players, does he want to go back to the false 9 years? I don't know, but Terry brought up a great point that made me think about the second year of our show, the second season, when I was out in California in Pasadena, and I remember blatantly being mad every time we lost that season was because Pep didn't make subs. And like, it literally took me straight back to that place, that nostalgia of like, or that trauma of like, wow, Pep, you didn't make subs, and look at what happened. We drew. It was a choice. Like, you chose this path, and again, that point might save us at the end of the season. It might be the difference, right?
Mm-hmm.
We might be tied on goal, ahead on goal difference with someone, and you know, it all works out. But for now, in a derby, that hurts. This isn't us going to Anfield. This isn't us, you know, going to the Emirates where we're playing teams that are at our level or higher.
Mm-hmm.
We're talking about 13th place United, and we just wanted to leave it a draw. Like, what is the message you're sending? Like, was Kevin De Bruyne kept on because it was nostalgia, because it was his last derby? Like, because everything said to me, like, okay, let Kev go. Like, he did a great shift, 75, 80 minutes, bye. Let's spice it up. No, Bernardo, why was he still out there? Like, everything can be questioned. And then, Tarek, if I'm going to rate the manager, I'm giving him a 5. It's a straight 5. It was very, very subpar. And what the options you had on your bench, and the fact you didn't use them.
Yeah, and that's real. And you know, it's disappointing because top 4 is out there, top 5 is out there. Chelsea drop points. We win this match, we go above them, we go into 4th place. I genuinely think they're Nottingham Forest lost.
Mm-hmm.
There is a case to be made that we could end the season in 3rd place, not in 5th, but in 3rd. But that requires us to go for it. And yeah, it's a change without having Haaland up top. But I don't know that we didn't create much of anything. So even if Haaland was there, it doesn't matter, because the way that we're playing, the style that we are playing, says we just want to get one. And if they get one first,
yeah,
we're screwed.
Yeah.
And then that's when you're going to try to throw on everybody and try to change it up at the end. Well, why not just play that way from the beginning? Why not be progressive? Why not be attacking? Why not be, bold? And instead we're passive and we're scared and I don't know. Is it a big call for so to be fair, I was happy to see Nico O'Reilly. So I will give Pep
Of course.
credit for that.
Yep.
I'm glad he made that call, but there was so many other ones that I looked at and said, Pep, got to be better, man. And that's disappointing because, it's there. Nico Gonzalez has been really, really good for us. The fact that you didn't even bring him in late in the game, or like again at that 60th minute spot to change it up, to get more legs on, because I can understand there have been games where he's gotten into, if it was basketball, he's gotten into foul trouble, right? He's gotten a yellow.
Yeah.
And so now you got to kind of protect him. You don't want to go down to 10 men. Bring him in the 60th minute. Didn't happen. I don't. If Gundo has been great, well, Gundo's been good these last couple matches. He wasn't there today.
No.
That's okay. Switch it up. You can't. We already know we can't play him every week in, week out.
But
that was the issue earlier in the season. So you let him, you give him some rest, you bring him back in, he does well. That doesn't mean you just keep going, because he doesn't have it. You got to give him another break. Let him play in spurts, in moments. He's not a 90-minute player.
Yeah, 3 in a row was crazy.
Yeah, it's just, it's disappointing because I love Pep, and I have to, look and if I'm not placing blame, because at the end of the day, it is what it is. But if I have to look and say, what do I think we should have done different? Most of it falls on his shoulders, not so much on the players. Because again, no one was great. No one was poor, like really bad. We just weren't good enough.
Yeah.
And even looking at because Sharpie, you mentioned about goal differences and things like that. The only good thing is we are ahead of Aston Villa and Newcastle and Fulham. These are any of the teams that could potentially make things tough for us, and we're tied with goals with Chelsea. So if we end up drawing, and then we actually are ahead of Forest in goal difference. We have 3 more goals than them. So any of these teams that we're around other than Chelsea, if we end up drawing on points, we should be able to win that. That makes me feel better. But again, we have to put ourselves in a circumstance to score. And especially at the end of the match, it just felt like we puttered to the end. I said it. It felt like if anybody was going to score, it was going to be United. Because they weren't all on the same page. You bring Doku on, to me, that says we want to score another goal. But then you bring on Jack Grealish and you bring on Rico, that says that you just want to hold on to the ball. You want to be better in the small spaces, but that doesn't necessarily mean scoring. If Pep is going to bring, he just needs to make sure that the subs match the energy, or that the whole team knows exactly what they're going to do. Man, this is yeah, you're right. We came on and we're sad, but this is good. We got the frustrations out now. When we record tomorrow, maybe there's a different perspective that we might have. I guess final thoughts before we get out of here.
I'm nervous. I'm nervous for the rest of April. These next 3 Premier League matches do not inspire confidence after that performance. So unless Pep is going to make some changes, if he runs out that same lineup with a week off against Palace, I'm losing it. Like it's really time to shift and play your wingers. Please start the wingers and let's just see what happens. Start the wingers with Marmoush and let's give it a go. That's my final thought. What you got, Terry?
No, I agree with you 100%. Thing I'll add, Marmoush was really good in the press.
Yeah, it was.
He created a lot of havoc, a lot of issues for them. He never stopped running. Even late in the match, he was, fighting for every ball. He's not the physical presence that Holland is, but I appreciate the energy that he brings. I appreciate the effort that he demonstrated. And do I want everyone running around like a headless chicken? No, but I need more people to show that level of effort and that level of energy.
Yeah.
And I think if the rest of the team matches that, we don't have any problems. So that, kudos to him.
And I like that. That's a great way to end this stream, is on a positive note, because I was so excited about this match, especially with the KDB announcement and everything. This was the perfect chance to come and smash them, like, a 3-1 win. And like, what was the stats on this match? Let's see. 58% possession to their 42. They beat us in the XG game. City only had 0.49, where United had 0.92. Like, they were the better team, and that's frustrating. And it looked like it, honestly. To be able to watch and be like, hey, I've actually seen the growth of United. Hey, wow, look at them all getting back. Wow, we were about to be on a counter. They tried to free Marmouche, and all of a sudden there's like 8 United people around them. And now it's like 8 versus 3. How are we supposed to do anything against that? It was frustrating as hell watching United looking like the team that is more understanding of what is needed to be done than United, than City. And I get it. It's possession. It's pass, but that doesn't mean success. So that's my final thought. Once again, if you're watching and you're watching the replay, like the video, leave a comment. We will be back after next week's match against Crystal Palace. We're going to make this a thing, a call-in show. It's a good chance for us to give our thoughts, a little football therapy. And I'm going to make a beer run. They pushed me towards the booze. I've been doing so good, but it's like, yep. I know, because I already know this Pep post-match presser. He's going to be on bullshit. He's going to be like, everybody looked good. Everybody was doing what I needed them to do. I'm so happy. He's going to be on bullshit. I already know. And if I listen to him say this stuff and I don't have a drink in my hand, I'm going to scream, because it's like, I'm not going to want to clip it up, because it's like, I already, like, if I'm annoyed by it, I already know my show bros are going to be annoyed by it. I'm usually the positive one. So if I see the bullshit, I already know what y'all are going to say. So couple of Coronas, some Dos Equis with some lime, I'll feel a lot better and be willing to take in Pep's bullshit.
Hey, before we get out of here, the only saving grace about today is that my sports day doesn't end. I still have the women's national championship match.
Oh yeah, let's go.
In an hour.
Oh, and it's in an hour. Oh yeah, I definitely gotta.
So it's a big game. Who you got, Charlie?
I'm gonna ride with Don, man. I think they go back to back. I got to ride with it. I'm gonna ride till the wheels fall off, baby.
Yeah, I gotta go with Don. It's gonna be tough because that UConn team is nice. Yeah, they always are. But I'm gonna go with Don and SC to figure out a way to get through it. So, Crunk, you got any thoughts on it?
I'm excited. Yeah, I'm riding with Don. I'm in a new group chat, and it's just with a bunch of people who fuck with WoSpo, just all of the women's sports.
Yeah,
and they have been able to being able to read and pay attention to everything that they're saying. It's gotten me more tapped into this championship. I ever since the round of 16, I've been watching all of the games, so I've been pretty locked in. I worry about South Carolina because they don't really have 3-point shooters, and UConn Paige, if she starts feeling herself, she can knock a couple of threes, like 3-4 possessions in a row, and that can make things tough. I do believe South Carolina and their defense, and they're going to make it tough. And Dawn, fucking genius. She's going to set her team up for success. It's just going to be if the ladies, the young women, can match her tactics.
I will say that she's the only coach to ever beat Gina Auriemma in a final, and that happened a couple years ago. So it could happen again. The shooting part is where AZ Fudd scares me. AZ is the one where she's a sniper. Like when she gets going, that thing gets off. Paige sets her up, and it gets, because who you gonna stop? You always try to stop Paige first, and AZ goes off.
AZ, and there's a girl on their bench who's from Indiana. What is the old girl's name? It's not coming to me, but I can't believe I blanked on her name. But she's a good shooter as well. So I think definitely if you're talking about a shootout, I think UConn wins that. I do think Pow Pow on her day can shoot with any of them.
Pow Pow.
They just don't have the depth of shooters.
So there's. Are you talking about Shade? Yeah,
Ashlyn Shade. There it is.
Yep.
It starts with an A. I couldn't figure it out, but she can shoot. If she gets going, she'll get 3-4 in a row. So that part makes it not scary, but she's good. I think South Carolina has to run. They got to get. They got to let what's her name. For Wiley, they got to let her out in space and let her run, get to the hoop, just be dope.
Yeah, so, foul trouble is gonna be important, man. UConn's not.
It's gonna be a good game.
South Carolina. I hope it's a great game.
Did you
also?
Okay,
oh, good. I'm sorry.
I know you were going for Duke because you were rooting for your money, not because you like Duke. How did you think about that game last night?
Oh man!
So the funny thing is, I was out with a young lady who was a Duke fan, right? So I was like, and she knows I'm a UNC fan, like we friends forever. So like I was trying to like be supportive of her, like throughout the game. Okay, y'all looking good. But the moment they collapsed, the drive home was great. The drive home was amazing. Like seeing the way like the timestamps of the score, and it's how it got worse and worse, and Duke just couldn't score the last 10 minutes. Oh my God, I am overjoyed. They crash out, no titles for 10 years, no national championship game appearances in 10 years. This is wonderful. Like you make it here and then you fail, and it's great. So
what
shout
was
out
it?
Kevin Sampson.
35 5-star recruits over that time too. Like that's so insane.
I didn't see that, but yeah.
Yeah,
I picked Houston in my bracket at work, so I was riding with them. I actually thought they were doing good to just stay within striking distance, but I didn't think they had enough to get over the line. But then, they pulled it out. So I was like really impressed last night.
Ballers do what ballers do.
Hey, no, the one player I want to talk about, Walter Clayton Jr.
Florida.
He is baby Steph.
Florida.
That young man can go. Dropped 20 points in the second half on top overall seed. Went crazy. Threes, layups, dribbling. Like, he put on a show. So I picked Florida in my bracket. I am rooting for Florida. I just think they play better basketball. Like I respect everything Houston does. It's just not. It doesn't excite me. It's too ugly. But Florida plays beautiful basketball.
You know what I thought about Houston? It put me in the mindset of those old Cincinnati teams.
Oh
yeah. Kenyon Martin and those boys.
Yeah. They had that feel, that look to them. So
they win. They can't knock it. The culture is real, and Kevin Sampson knows what he's doing. But yeah, should be fun in about 50 minutes. About to eat here and get ready for the game. It's almost game time.
Oh, hey, all right. Love your show, bros. Chat with y'all tomorrow. Thank you, everybody who has joined through.
George,
the vibes.
Mac, man, appreciate y'all.
Yes.
Appreciate it.
See you guys, everybody. Luke.